Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. I have some Bible verses we're going to refer to out of 2nd Corinthians. That will be for a little bit later. No doubt you have noticed the world around you is crumbling, and all the people around you are blind to it. You're not the first one to notice that. And you would be right. That's God showing you what's happening. Draw near, for time is short. And it will be like that, continually getting worse until the end. Hold out till the end. Doing God's work. Satan has his people here. Doing Satan's work, does he not? God needs his people. Understand who you are and what comes along with that. They have no authority over you at all, whether you can see them or not. All glory to Christ. Tuesday night in the Twilight Zone. Hope you are all doing well. News reports that I saw today. Russia amassing troops at the border of the Ukraine. All worldly propaganda. Doesn't matter. I heard that China told its people to stockpile stuff, food and such. Or Japan, I don't remember which one. But I think it was China. All worldly stuff. Everything going on. The lava. The earthquakes increasing. All worldly stuff. All of these things must come to pass. Then will be the end. And we will be here doing God's work. So as we've talked about for a long time, Satan's got his people here. All dead already. Not even knowing it. Let the dead bury the dead. Come out from them. And that's going to be a trap for a lot of people. All the people they grew up with. Who are blind as can be. Even the church people, all blind. I have some Bible verses. Like I said, I'll go over in a little bit about them. More specific than them being blind. And not being able to understand. They don't have that feeling. They don't have that. You have that. They don't have it. Aaron Hayward from Australia. Welcome, Aaron. Glad to have you. Those listening live and in the future. Glad to have everyone. Like-minded individuals. All recognizing where we're at, whether by sight or by feel. We talked about how important that feel is. You feel it. Because you are special. They don't have that. They scuttle about doing illusions of what they used to do. It's very weird from the outside looking in. The false apostles. 2 Corinthians. But I'm afraid just as Eve was deceived by the serpent's cunning, your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. Very clearly, right? We talked about that. Just as the serpent was crafty, there's no truth in him, there's no love in him. He deceived Eve, right? That's what they're talking about. Just as Eve was deceived by the serpent, your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. Not the hippie. Jill Martin, welcome. Matrix Adjustment says it's on big time, y'all. Welcome, glad to have everybody. You understand what they're talking about. They the serpent deceived Eve. They have crept into the church unaware. We talked about that. Now we know they can't see it or feel it. And that's why 2 Corinthians. But I'm afraid that just as Eve was deceived by the serpent, your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. So like I said, it's child of God. Welcome, glad to have you. So it's evolved from Christ to this hippie per Satan. It's not, they're not doing it. They're deceived. They have crept into the church unaware. That's what that verse is talking about. It goes on as well. For your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion. So they go give $20 and they think they're all good. For if someone comes to you and preaches a Jesus other than we preached, or if you receive a different spirit from the one you received, or a different gospel, you can feel it or you can see it because it stands out. Very good, like somebody praying to Mary, and then Mary talks to God, and then like somebody was trying to explain that one time. They're preaching a different gospel. You understand? And then it goes on to say, from the one, the real one, you put up with it easily enough. That's right. Because it's an illusion. It's not real. It's like cartoony to them. But yet they go to church their whole life. From the one but you put up with it easily enough. That's why they're all deceived. That's why God has hardened their hearts to believe the lie. So you take something pure, Satan spins it to these big old world churches and a hippie. But that's not what it is, I assure you. Your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. And that's what it is. They have crept into the church unaware. The problem is the people within it have no idea because they're part of it. You could call them the hive mind. But if you went in there and kept it real, they don't want to hear that crap. Let them grow together till the end. They've married them and they've reproduced with them. They've crept into the church unaware that none of them know. The very few humans that are left, God has basically hardened their hearts. They're not even trying. They're not. That's what this verse says. They go along with it easily enough. They give their $20 and they think they're good. They do nothing. It's an illusion to them. But all of you, ask and you will be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. All of you have put in that work in your own way, and God knows it. That's why you're waking up. And if you can't see it, no doubt you can feel it. Where we're at the end. Keep going with it. That feel, that gut feeling. You feel it in your heart. They don't have that. They're going to go give their $20 and listen to one of they deceive them as an angel of light. Plus, they've married them and reproduced with them. Their heads would explode. Or, when they do become aware of it, their hearts will fail from fear of just how stupid they have been and just how blind they have gone through life. And yet this verse goes on here. It's a different gospel from the one you accept, but you put up with it easily enough. But I do not think I am at least inferior to those super apostles. I may not be a trained speaker, but I do have knowledge. We have made this perfectly clear to you in every way. But we have knowledge. I have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding by the grace of God. And what this verse is talking about, the difference between us and them, they don't get it. It's an illusion. What we see and what we feel is the real. Something's wrong with this place. And now you know why. That's what it says. You put up with it easily enough. You accept it. And that's what it is. A different gospel. Just as Eve was deceived by the serpent, your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. The church people led astray from their pure devotion to Christ, and us are drawing near to Christ every day per faith. All of us have that faith, whether we can see it or feel it. We have it. They don't have it. I'm telling you that they're illusions. They're all dead already. fake church, an apostate church. The blind, leading the blind, which is probably 1%. And then the 99% they have crept into the church unaware. And all the church people, there's a lot of them, are going to run to the churches in the collapse like sheep to the slaughter, not knowing they've spent their whole lives being led by they in every single aspect of it. Not just the church stuff, every aspect of it, from your brainwashing in your youth. We all went through it if you went to a school. None of that is real. Also, the church pictures of the hippie, and that stuff shouldn't exist. The little, the angels, and they're like babies with wings. None of that stuff. The Catholic Church is men giving themselves authority over men, but they have nothing. No understanding. That's what this place is full of. Know-it-alls. They know it all. But they don't know this. And they don't feel this. We do. God is great. All glory to Christ. We're so lucky. We focus on what he has in store for us. I assure you, as real as the serpents and the bots are, that's real too. What he has in store for us. Though we're all sinners, fallen short of the glory of God. He did that for us. He died for our sins. We are covered in the blood of Christ. We don't have to cover our thresholds. We don't have to carry around crystals. We don't have to have a picture of the hippie Jesus on the wall, where he's looking up, he's got his beard and his hair, you know the deal. Or the praying hands that we talked about, just the hand pyramid. Been deceived since birth by the grace of God and through hard work by all of us. You don't get it for free. Seek and you shall find, right? All of you have put in that work at some level, and the more work that you put in, obviously, the more stuff God's going to give you. And you're on that right path. Just keep going with it. I didn't get all this overnight. That's for sure. 03. Yeah, Child of God says Candace Owens, I don't know who that is, was talking today about the World Economic Forum conducting grid down exercises for an inevitable computer virus. Yeah, we talked about that. Grids down, blame it on Russia, blame it on China, whoever, take your pick, North Korea. Some hackers yet to be identified and told they're the bad guys, and then they'll get them and give you the solution as well. Yeah, if you see it on TV, you know who it's from. It's from Satan. They're all dead already. That's they. And all those that partook with they. Huge mistake. Also, all those that wouldn't partake, but turned a blind eye and suckled at that teat. Not good. Not good at all. And that's what's happening in this world. That's why they's world, the world, everything, the media, all of that's an illusion. They're all dead already. The body without the soul is dead. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. They're Alexas that Satan uses, turns them off, chucks them into a closet, hoses them off the next day, gets them dressed up, puts them back out there. And that's how they go through life. They're not us. We feel. The other people, the church people that we were just discussing, they're different. God has hardened their hearts to believe the lie. So they're locked in to the Alexas and they're listening to them because God allows it. And we've all tried many different times, and we all know the outcome. You're crazy. Or it goes in one ear and out the other. Ivy is with us. Welcome. Glad to have you, Ivy. Just talking about the church people. You got to read that verse. It's good. The Bible is so much better with understanding. Just as Eve was deceived by the serpent's cunning, your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. Even on the TV, it's the hippie, it's the cartoony stuff. I'm telling you, it's going on all around you. All the people you grew, everybody you think is, it's not who they always think they are. I'm telling you. Justice is with us as well. Glad to have you, Justice. Says, thank you for this message. I've been searching for these answers. Yeah, all glory to Christ. It's not me. It comes through. Fang, welcome. Glad to have you as well. Yeah, that'll be an awesome place. Sterling is with us as well. Welcome, Sterling. Glad to have you. Just remember that just as Eve was deceived by the serpent, your minds may somehow be led astray. That's not just the church, that's just life astray. Just for astray for life. Imagine that. I think for us, though we were in the world and blind, we had to experience that part. You understand? But we always had that faith. So we were not us. We were, it was always there. They just don't have it. Even the people in, all the people in church, all the people in the church, they don't have that. We never lost that, or I never did. That's for sure. No matter how far off the narrow, because we're all in the world. It's part of learning. It's just part of learning. You have to be in the world at some point. But don't be deceived. It's all around you. And like it says, you go along with it easily enough. So they're all the worldly term hive mind, where they're all on the same bootleg path, right? The wide path, the path of stupid that leads to death. We're on the narrow path. I guess from different angles, There's different ways of getting on that path. Satan's people, you know they're dead already. The brainwashed people, the people, the blind, leading the blind, they're never going to get it. And then the people God has hardened their hearts. There's like different angles in this deception, and whichever one you came up out of, because you have something. You're very rare. Each and every one of you are very rare. Individual. That's why I always talk about that. We can do nothing. When I was younger, I couldn't do nothing. I didn't know none of this stuff. All I knew was the base foundation of what I was taught in my whole youth, the Bible, from a cartoony angle. Ain't like it is now. Yeah. That's right. It's because they bow their knees, Aaron, to Baal. They bow before him. And he promises them worldly power. That's what they want. But make no mistake, they get only death. Some bootleg version of them goes on. Yeah. That's what it's talking about. Or if they're preaching a different gospel, they don't know what these. Also, there's another verse. I don't know what it is. But they knew it then. They knew it. It was bootleg because they went out from us. Yet they weren't from us. So if I was here and you saw somebody here every day with me, right? And they went out and did some bootleg thing. Say, yeah, they were here. They weren't of me. Oh, you thought that was my people? No, you were deceived. They got you. That ain't me though. That's what they're saying. They went out from us. They weren't of us. Don't be deceived. You know they're going to be out there. Angels of darkness, Satan's people pretending they're angels of light. You know the deal. And so they're going to want to blame everyone else. The church people. Well, we didn't know. You should have. You didn't even try. All of us did. And are continuing to narrow in on it, drawing near to Christ, because we have come out from them. We are not getting a different gospel, as it says in 2 Corinthians 11. A different gospel than we preach, right? Than Christ preached, from the one you received. And then what does it says? But you accept, you put up with it easily enough. And that's what they do on autopilot. Happy to be on auto. Give their $20. We're good for another week, right? No, I never knew you. Depart from me. They never try. But as we get closer to the collapse, I think they're going to be more open. And that's why we're here. Like I said, Satan's people are here putting in work. If I woke up and I got to get up out of here, what about everyone else that doesn't know stuff? Fisher of men. I will make you a fisher of men. You got to put in that work like you're all doing. They're not doing that. Right now they're watching foot or basketball or whatever. Worldly stuff they're tied into. They certainly will. A child of God says they will mix the truth with the lies. That's right. They're not preaching it right. Nobody knows who they are. They're not teaching. They have nothing. They have no wisdom, knowledge, or understanding. They have no authority to be telling anybody anything. But they stand up there in their fancy suits, all across this country, all across the world, or their fancy robes or whatever they wear, and give something away that they ain't got to give. Blind as can be, leading the blind, and they're blind because they're being led by somebody. If they would get up out of that and look from the outside in, they would be a whole lot better. But don't give up on everyone yet. Like I said, in the collapse, they're going to have to make that decision. That has nothing to do with you or I. God will bring people to you who he wants to. You just got to go with it. And that's what they said. And that's why I said they'd throw me out instantly. They don't want to hear the truth, that what we've grown together. Let them grow together. They don't want to hear that they've married them. So I said, I may not be a trained speaker, but I do have knowledge. We've made perfectly clear to you in every way. So they would go into somewhere and they would tell people what it is, like the way I do, or the way you try to tell people, and you experience in one ear and out the other, or they just glaze over their eyes, right? And we've tried because we have love in us and we care. You want people. That's the game. A fisher of men. And we talked about how do you go about that? That's a tough question. That's another individual thing. You're going to have to figure out how to get through to people. You certainly can't start with what it is. The whole world is an illusion run by satanic, hive-minded Alexas. You know what I mean? They what? Huh? They don't want to hear that crap. So that's where do you start? You know, maybe over a long process they could get down to that. But they got to put the work in like you did or I did. They ain't just gonna get it. That's part of it. Part of it is them coming out of the world, right? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Ivy. Ivy says flat Earth helps. I guess that's a pond you could throw it into your lure. The chemtrail pond. What else? The reptilian Draco pond. There's ponds, you know. Then you could pull them up out of there, teach them the truth. You know what I mean? There's certain ponds you could cast into. That's right. It's hard to find where to start, Ivy. Well said. But just keep some. You're not gonna get everybody. But you could plant that seed. You know, maybe they come back sometime in the future when they need something, and they'll remember something you've said. You play a part in it. You may not get credit for the whole thing, but we're not doing this for credit. We cannot work our way into heaven, but we're going to have to show our work. Yeah, yeah, the moon landing pond that it was filmed on a Hollywood movie. So there's ponds you can cast into and start the process. That may take forever, take your whole life, but it'll be worth it if you could pull one more out of the fire. Well done. And that's why it says we all work together. We would all work together. If we could save one person, pull one out of the fire. Because Satan's people are out there putting in work. And Pearson is with us. Welcome. Says hello to everybody. That's what it is. Russia amassing troops at the Ukrainian border. Probably they're going to say they're going to sanction them. We're going to sanction them again. Just like they're going to spend their way out of debt. Remember when he said that? Standing there in mom jeans, you know what I mean? They can't see that. They're never going to. Ever. A gospel different. You'll hear it. That's in you. When somebody, you learn it the way it is, and then somebody's got some off bootleg angle they go onto, and then they come right back. But there's like this bootleg thing. That's what they're talking about. Don't get bootlegged, pulled off that narrow path. But it just sticks. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Some people say they would pray to Mary, or they would carry around like these medallions of people they called saints, right, of the church, these people. But you got to understand, they call good evil, and they call evil good. Everyone they've ever told you is good, and they have these sainthood stuff. Don't listen to them. I'm telling you, all these people that get these medals and acknowledgement, so to speak, in a worldly way from them, not good. Not good at all. Remember that. Woe to those that call good evil and evil good. And that's what it is. Many things to think about. Where you cast that lure into the water. Other questions. When Christ healed the blind, did he give them back their physical sight? Or did he enlighten them, their spiritual sight? They could see as I see. Blessed are your eyes, for they see. Right? 1,000 years is a day, and a day is like 1,000 years, right? How many days did it take to create this place? But God can use anybody. Remember that. Everybody was there. Like in Sodom and Gomorrah, you know the story. The angels showed up there. They wanted to know who they were. But I think they would have looked human. They would have looked different than everybody there. It would have just been they. Again, back at Noah's day as well. As it was. Nothing new under the sun. Yeah, that's about accurate, child of God. That's where she lived. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, you know, it's out here in nowhere, Wisconsin. I can't imagine what it is in the big cities. thick there. But God's got a few of his people here putting in work. And you got to be one of them. But the church people are way far off. They're way off. They've been led that way, and they just go along with it. Like it says in that verse, easily enough. They never put in the work that you or I do. I don't mean work, I mean seeking internally, drawing near to Christ. It's not something you can do in a worldly way. You have to do that. And you've all done that and are doing that continually. And for that, like that other verse says, you're being renewed in knowledge. So you don't get paid in worldly things, but what you get, way better, I assure you. Just the feeling that you all have that they don't have. We talked about that gut feeling, that in your heart feeling. They don't have that. You're so lucky. I'm so lucky that we got that. All glory to Christ. Use us as vessels as need be. We will do your work. And he will. Like I said, the less you have to think, the better. Yeah, we all wish we could have grown up somewhere else, I guess. But I guess where we all are is where we had to be to see it for what it is. Some of you are in cities, and some of you are in rural areas, all over the place. If we were anywhere else, maybe we would have got pulled into the illusion. We would have never got out of it. That's what that is. It's like going to Hollywood type thing. When you're young, because of the movies, it's all brainwashed into you. It's not your fault. The glitz and glamour of Hollywood. You know what I mean? That's pumped into your head for a reason. And even before that, they had like the radio days and vaudeville and Broadway and such. Try to make you feel like you're missing out on something. Trying to draw that black hole. Trying to draw you in has always been like that. Some way or another. And you can look back and just see it, this black hole of deception everywhere. It's nothing new. But people are going to be surprised when they activate it, because they haven't activated it yet. And the people that are left that haven't been activated, most of them, their hearts are going to fail from fear. They're not going to understand what's happening. Some sky technology will replicate some sort of alien invasion, along with the disasters, hence the tidal waves or volcanoes going off, and or such. Is going to be too much for people to handle. And that's, let them grow together till the end. So once they become aware of that, not like we are though, the serpents in the bot, they're gonna, some good alien, bad alien stuff. It's gonna be too much for them. Now, hopefully, like we talked about, some of those people aren't gonna fall for it. That's why we're here. That's why you're here. That's why you feel that. I will stay here. Continue to do God's work as long as he wants me to. Don't listen to the prepper channels. You cannot prepare for what's coming. You're going to have what everyone else has. And then there's going to be the preppers that have, 9 years worth of chicken noodle soup in a can and 30 years worth of freeze dried crap that dogs wouldn't eat. Thinking, well, hell, I don't know what they're thinking. They're going to sit in their basements and hold out the apocalypse. A lot of prepper channels, a whole lot of them. Maybe that's another pond. Sure, it would be. $1 million question: where do you start? But very soon, God is going to force them to choose by that world turning off. It's all part of these things. This place is going down. It's not for you. You know that as well. Satan's got his people here working. God's got his people. If it was for us and we all go away, who's left? The church people? Or Satan's serpents? Or the bots? And it will continue on until God, whatever the script is, finishes. You know the script because it's in the book. It's the details that matter. Don't get pulled off of that. How it shows up here, Satan and the fallen angels and the fake alien stuff, how it's going to be presented to you doesn't matter. You know the deal. It is what it is. An illusion, part of Satan's great deception. Don't listen to those people at all. None of them. And a lot of you are starting to realize that already. No world. It's already like the zombie apocalypse, so to speak, is it not? Everywhere you go. And that's nothing new. It's been like that for a long time. And I'm sure the older people we're not that old. People in their 60s and 70s, 80s, 90s, imagine how stupid people would appear to them. That last generation or the other generation, the humans, you know what I mean? People. But it's definitely purged God out of everything, or bootlegged it up with people like Joel Osteen and such. Perry Stone, another one, got videos of that dude doing the hand pyramid, trying to tell you something, trying to give you something they ain't got. Mighty is with us. Welcome, Mighty. My comments got erased. I left comments earlier and they got erased. But how stupid are the gang stalkers today? You see what I mean when I go a different way? You see that? Also, where that video ends today, my gang stalker video, they did that. I didn't do that. I didn't end that there. It like scrambled up the camera and it just ended. I started it again, but it was just me driving off and then him walking back to his van instantly. But they're just Alexas. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. just another tool. You can understand the hive mind, the illusion you exist, the whole world is fallen under the sway of the wicked one. Yeah, he like what? Yeah, it's just standard issue. So it's just like that truck that pulled over in front of me. Knew that a mile away. Also, it happens everywhere, but I'm not gonna pull into a park. What I would have to do is show you the car, and then I would have to show you where it goes. Then I would have to go up out. As long as I'm out of the sight of them, they'll continue on with their day. And they'll do a U-turn and come back, and you'll see it every time. Like I said, since '03, so long in fact that I could care less. But I want to show you as a tool to understand everything in that book is real. They're all around you. It's what it is. They have no authority over you. They don't care much if I film them or put them out there any more than I care that they do U-turns and turn their brights on and pull over in front of me and then follow me. Then I'll pull over. Sterling says, I wonder who pays the gang stalkers that follow you. Again, they're like Alexas. They don't get paid. They're on the hive mind, not us. Now, those are a little different than the celebrities and such, because they just are on an autopilot hive mind. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's right. They're not getting, it's not a way, that's the thing that people think like, oh man, they're getting paid, right? They're sitting in their car all day following, but they're all dead already. Maybe somebody could get pulled into that. It could be another black hole. Hey man, you want to make 1,000 a day? Yeah, sign this, follow these people. Hey, guess what? Satan's going to devour you. I'm sure that's something people get got in all the time. They're all, it's all worldly, all of it. It's all, I can't imagine any humans are left in any of it because they get devoured. That's the game. The game isn't to give somebody 1,000 a day to be a gang stalker. The game is get them until, Satan devours them. Yeah. But like I said, just a tool. They have no real value. Unless somebody that was blind and could just, you know what I mean? Now, that's something they couldn't look past. If they just drove with me for a day, did it again tomorrow, every day, it's like this every day. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's going on all around you. But how would you ever get somebody to ride with you consistently every day? It wouldn't matter. It would be like that at nighttime, 2 in the morning. You know the deal. It's everywhere. I go in somewhere, gets real busy, real quick. Like I said, they're slightly off schedule. But when I went into the gas station today, it was just filled up. Nowhere, Wisconsin. There was nobody there really when I got there. Maybe the first person I saw when I pulled into the parking lot got out of their truck. So that was one of they, because they were just sitting there. And it just filled up, There's a whole herd of people in there. Mobbing, I guess, would be the worldly term, but like I said, it's been so long, I don't even acknowledge them. I don't acknowledge them as real. And that's what they're like. It's like Sims. That's exactly what it's like. All played by Satan. Well said, Ivy. Like the Sims game. That's what it is. That's also what Satan would want that plan to be. Everybody under his control in this play. But then it's never gonna happen. The war has been won already. Yeah. Just kind of going about the day. That's how it is. They never come up out of that either. That's how they go through life. It's just amazing. But like I said, until they can't, I'm always cheering for them to come up out of that. Any one of them. Don't care who it is. But until one understands who they are, they can't do anything for anyone else. And that's how this place will go down. A little bit confused, a whole lot of scared, fear, chaos. When? Doesn't matter. We all know it's coming. Doesn't matter how it's presented. The best thing you can do is listen to nothing of the world at all. They're going to, because they don't even know yet, but pretty soon when we know that this collapse happens and the grid down stuff, they're going to long for that world back. It's never coming back, but that's going to be part of the promise, that black hole, to draw people into it. And like we said, they're going to run to the churches, right to the slaughter, because they're there. They are there. They're going to be sorely disappointed at how their lives come to an abrupt end. We are not feeding into any of that at all. Nothing worldly. Protests, anything. You can't do 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It's never gonna work. I always talk about the trees bearing fruit, bearing good fruit or bearing bad fruit, or not doing nothing with it. That tree gets cut down. It's like a Johnny Cash song, God's gonna cut you down. I don't know who originally sang that. That's what he's talking about. God is gonna cut you down. They're never gonna understand that. Yeah, Anne says you got people mocking you on YouTube about storing chicken noodle soup. Yeah, let their chicken noodle soup rot. Also had people on here telling you to fill your bathtubs up with water. Are those the same people mocking me? They're gonna have their cans of chicken noodle soup in bathtub water. Let them all dead already. Let them mock me. The more people that mock me, the better. I don't even know they exist at all. I pick this phone up On the rare occasion that I'm going to make a video for about 2 minutes, however long my videos are, about from 30 seconds to 2 minutes, right? I pick it up, rarely for that, and then once a night to do my live stream. I wouldn't even know anybody outside of us existed at all. So let them get their chicken noodle soup and their their freeze dried trash food that dogs wouldn't eat. Let them stockpile it. Let them go down in their basements. And wait till they see the darkness that is coming for them. The darkness coming upon this place. We talked about the darkness. I saw it. I saw what's within it. It's going to get them. Not good. We also talked about the darkness when they crucified Christ. We also talked about the darkness before this. It's not the sun going down darkness, because it was here before the sun. The darkness is what they're up against. Let them have their chicken noodle soup. Because they don't get it. They don't get it. Dead already, putting their faith in themselves. No different than why not build a bunker? Crawl into the rocks and the dens of the earth. Just like they said they would. Except they don't have the ability to make bunkers. So they just put it in their storage room, I guess. They're going to sit there and eat that during the apocalypse. It won't work any more than the bunkers will work. Yeah. Like I said, they're soft. They know the deal. The one in us is infinitely more powerful than the one in they. They have no authority over us. I personally don't even know they exist. As I said, I picked this phone up, the zombie box, as I call it, and I do the show at night for about an hour or two. Now I have to manually hold this phone in my hand, and I have to think about what I'm doing. My tech ability is Madden 98. So let them. All dead already. Mockers will come in the last days, scoffers. Yeah. The war has been won already. You're going to see that individually. Also, the people in the church that we talked about, the blind, all the church people, the $20 a week church people, that's going to come for them as well. The persecution aspect, the scoffing, the haters, they're not going to be most of them won't handle that. But also, best case scenario. Why would that be the best case? Because it forces them to make a decision, does it not? Like I said, we're cheering for all of them. Yeah. Let them mock. Basically, the only reason they exist to do that is because of us, because of me and you. Otherwise, they would have nothing to talk about. In fact, wouldn't even exist really. Still don't. I couldn't even imagine who they were. I have no idea. Nor do I care. But you find them and you expose them for what they are. That's what it says. Take no part, come out from them, rather expose them, right? Let them prep. All the preppers. We're gonna prep, bro. We're gonna wear our camouflage pants with the pockets in the sides. We're gonna get some freeze-dried food and some cans of chicken noodle soup. Fill our bathtubs up with water. How quick would you turn that off? Is that what you want to hear? Is that what people is? They don't. That's all an illusion. They have no real people listening to that stuff. Nobody wants to hear from a worldly perspective. Hey man, this place is gonna collapse. Better fill that bathtub up with water. Nobody wants to hear that. What the hell? What do you mean? You better get chicken noodle soup. I don't get it. Nobody wants to hear that. Again, they're just selling something they have no authority in. They have no knowledge and wisdom. They certainly don't have any understanding because they're all making their worldly plans, getting their camouflage pants, their little uniforms going. No different than anyone else. No different than the people making bunkers, building giant tanks, getting their worldly weapons ready. Built a bigger tank, bro. Got a bigger gun on it. The darkness is going to get them all. It doesn't need any of them. He's got them all already. Even the church people. It's coming for all of them. It's got nothing to do with us. Nothing at all. Also, they can take my videos and they try to replicate them, but they end up making bootleg versions of them because they have no knowledge or wisdom in what they're trying to talk about. Certainly don't have any understanding. They didn't go through the process. So they're giving something that they don't have. Just like the church pastors up there in their fancy suits, their Cadillacs, their churches every Sunday giving something that they don't have none of. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Again, the people on here to even talk, the haters and the shills, it would be like arguing with an Alexa. You know what I mean? Just an Alexa. Nothing more, nothing less. So I would feed into that, the haters. Zero. All you do is give them existence. I don't even know they exist. For real. The more people that make bootleg stuff of mine and hate, like I said, no doubt, if they're listening to this, they're listening to each one of you. They're watching each one of you because they know how special each and every one of you are. You're not just church people. Christians, bro. It's not what you are. You're not part of that at all. That's why They're not attacking church people. And if you do see a story on TV about something like that, or a church gets burned down or something, it's all they doing it. It's all they doing it. But them ain't church people. They'll show a whole congregation of people. They're not church people. They've given $20 a week for life, and they think they're all good. You understand? It's like that verse in 2 Corinthians says, you know the deal. Just as Eve was deceived by the serpent's cunning, your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. They're all deceived. So they're talking about preaching a different gospel from the one you accept, from the one you know, but yet you put up with it easily enough. I may not be a trained speaker, but I do have knowledge. We have made this perfectly clear to you in every way. So that's them saying, you can make bootleg videos of mine, but you can't do what I do. I can do this in real life. They have crept into everything, not just the church, everything. And now, all of you know why and know what's happening. You can see the bigger picture. The feeling that you get, they don't have that. Whatever God gave me, they ain't got that. They're up there trying to give something they don't have. Just like the preppers trying to give what? Who would feed into that? Who would want to live in that world where you have to fill your bathtub up and eat chicken noodle soup out of a can? Nobody. How are they selling that prepper thing to anybody? They're just selling an illusion, a fantasy of zombie apocalypse, bro. You pick your zombie apocalypse team. More worldly crap. Brought to you by Hollywood, your friends in Hollywood. You know the deal. But in real life, all those people would crumble instantly. Crumble. And that's what they'll do. The preppers, the church people, you'll see. I assure you, the war has been won already. What's coming upon this place is coming for they and all those that partook with them. And what I mean by that, because we know they're all Alexas, used as needed, turned off when they're not needed, and chucked into the closet like the trash that they are. That's how Satan does his own. But that's what's happening. Satan and the fallen angels are going to come here. They're going to expose every single one of them from the top down. And again, Satan's going to show his work, like I talk about. He's not just going to go up there BSing. He's going to show you why and what those people do. and those that partake with them do, and those that turn a blind eye and suckle at that teat. How dare you? That's what it's coming for. And Satan and the fallen angels will expose them all and exterminate them for your viewing pleasure. In doing that, you know the deal. People will cheer wildly for him. All part of the great deception you and I were born into. See it for what it is. Now it's going to be disguised. It's good aliens and bad aliens. Don't get pulled into it. It's all Satan and the fallen angels telling you they're the good guys, showing you the work on the, you know what they do. That's all they are, is stepping stones. They deceive the masses, yet they too are deceived. For their father is the father of lies. They don't get that part. They also are deceived. He is going to expose them all and exterminate them. Now, one would say they're just Alexas, dude. What's he going to drag them out of the closet, turn them on? He certainly is. It's exactly what he's going to do. All dead already. They'll die twice. You know the deal. But we don't dwell much on that. You know that already because we talked about it. Where we do dwell is in two places. Where do you throw the lure in the water to become a fisher of men? And the second thing we dwell upon is the amazingness that God has in store for us and how lucky we are. It doesn't matter what it's going to be like in heaven. They'll try to tell you. It doesn't matter. Some things don't matter. And they'll try to put it in worldly terms. We can't. And those are the two things we dwell upon. The amazingness that God has in store. And where do you cast that lure to become a fisher of men? Knowing we can't work our way, we can't do works, but you're gonna have to show your work. Some of you may be still understanding and learning. That's all right. You're still working on you, like we talk about. You can't do anything for anyone else till you do for you first. Till you can even start to see it. You're miles ahead. Miles. That's what it is. God will use you when he needs to. You might not even have to think about it. That's what it is. But this place is done. Let's remember that the darkness will never penetrate the light. They have no authority over you. Their world only exists to pull you into that black hole. Come out of that world. Because it's finished. And understanding who you are and how lucky we are. They can have all the worldly treasures. They can build the biggest bunkers They can stockpile the most chicken noodle soup and candy corn and black licorice. Some of that freeze-dried stuff that not even dogs would eat. And they're going to survive on bathtub water. It's the best that they, yeah, yeah. That's the worst. You show up and it's like freeze-dried food and black licorice and candy corn and like Jolt from 1989 in a 2-liter. What the hell? Who would want to live like that? That's what they think, though. Need some Mountain Dew. Get some ramen noodles, and we're gonna survive this zombie. We're gonna do just fine, I think. Just crazy. You're crazy, Gary. You're gonna die instantly. You're not even gonna know what happened. Hey, buddy. Plus, your wife is a robot. And her mother is a serpent. Gary's never gonna understand that. Because Gary has been brainwashed his whole life by your friends in Hollywood. All of that leading up to men's hearts failing from fear of what's coming. So at some point, no doubt, you'll start seeing news reports of alien ships, bro. Or whatever. You're already seeing it, even for the last few years. Even the army people were on TV talking about UFOs and such. The groundwork has been laid. And they'll continue with that. And it'll just get more and more the mainstream talking about. It's all it is their own demise. What they're calling in the script the illusion, like Jeff Bezos' rocket launch, CGI, wasn't real. Go back and watch it. The illusion that was Jeff Bezos' rocket launch. Not real. Look at it. Understand what I'm talking about. Wasn't where you gotta go through, watch the whole thing. What is real? What isn't real? What is real is a man with a microphone in the desert. Nothing else. You gotta watch it and understand what the illusion is. Mighty says, is Gary's wife nice to him? Once in a while, maybe. Inwardly, are ravenous wolves, only existing to get your soul. So it doesn't matter how they act around you, or how they look, or the clothes they wear, or the cars they drive. Inwardly, they want to kill you. Spiritually, they want to drag you straight to hell. Satan looks for who he can devour. They're not there to give you a happy life and a family. They're there to drag everybody straight to hell. Their will is to do the will of their father. Also, they're deceived by their father, who is the father of lies, the god of this world, Satan. This little bootleg version veiled from the amazingness that probably was originally. And one day we'll see it all for what it was, nothing done in darkness. We'll see. And I assure you, we're in some bootleg, veiled, the worldly term would be a TV screen in the sky, right? But the Bible, it's veiled, it's cloaked. It's like an illusion, You can see the grandeur and how big this place was with them trees they cut down, the whole thing. the whole thing. Forget their worldly buildings, their palaces, their castles that are disguised as prisons, and it just goes back. Forget all that. Just think of what was. These monster trees. Just, it would have been amazing originally. Yeah, all just Alexas, one way or another. But we'll get back after this tomorrow. Going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. I hope that Bible verse that we went over about the church people just going along with it, you know what I mean? Almost like The Sims, like on autopilot. That's what we're talking about. You see it in real life and you can feel it. So that's what it is. Just as Eve was deceived, don't be led astray from the real gospel by a different gospel. I may not be a trained speaker, but I do have knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Just like that verse talks about. They have none of it. They can't feel like we feel. They don't have any of that. All dead already. Let the dead bury the dead. Come out from them. Draw near to Christ, our Lord and Savior. We are covered in the blood of Christ. Each and every one of you is valuable. Satan's got his people out here, right? Alexas, but Satan Alexas nonetheless. We have to stay focused. We're not like Alexas. We get pulled in a million different directions. Stay focused. Who you are, how lucky we are, and how special each and every one of you are, and who we are, and what comes along with that. They have no authority over you. Do not prep in a worldly way, for they're all dead already. You guys take care. We will get back after this tomorrow night, Wednesday night, about the same time. Wisconsin, 9 to 10 p.m., something like that. Glad to have each and every one of you. I do these because I care about each and every one of you. You guys take care. All glory to Christ, our Lord and Savior.